Hey gang, welcome to the Sneaker Files podcast, episode number 27. I'm your host, Eugene. You can find us online at sneakerfiles.com, sneaker P-H-I-L-E-S, and on Twitter at sneakerfiles, and on Instagram at sneakerfiles_podcast. Also, you can find us on iTunes, just search Sneaker Files, and if you can please subscribe, rate, and review our show, that'd be greatly appreciated. This week, I got Joe, Pierre, and Jason to sit down with me and talk about the last week or so of Black Friday, what we've copped and what we missed, and how we feel about all the shoes that's been coming out so frequently. And most importantly, one of the shoes that did drop on the Black Friday weekend was the Adidas BAPE NMD collaboration. And the most important part of that was the way that they were released over here in Vancouver, Canada, and whether or not that will be the end of the first come first serve release method. There was a lot of chaos that had occurred during that release, and it's fair to say that it was very eventful, and I'm guessing a lot of people over at Adidas might have to rethink the way they want to launch future items over here in Vancouver. And as usual, enjoy the show. Hey gang, welcome to the Sneaker Files podcast. I'm your host, Eugene. And to my right, we have
Jason.
Pierre.
And Joe.
All right, full crew.
Yes.
What is up, everybody?
What is the good word?
Got over a head cold that kept me out of commission.
Oh yeah, Joe's been gone for a while, it seems like
Yeah.
a whole week and
No,
some.
he has been the butt of every joke. That's literally.
It's okay, Joe doesn't listen to the podcast
Oh.
anyway, so he'll never find out.
Well,
So the last what was it? The last week or so, it's been nuts, because we carried over to Black Friday and everything, and it seems like a lot of shit has come out lately, So
Yes.
the last week or so, including the Black Friday and Cyber Monday and the usual Saturday launches, what have we been copping?
Crickets.
So much.
That's
that's a pretty accurate.
We got nothing. We got
Pretty accurate.
nothing.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah. Next segment.
So I guess the first one to have come out was what was it? The last time we recorded, we included the V2s. So after that, it was the True Blue 3s, I guess.
Which we yeah.
I'm guessing Joe is a big fan of
Big
these.
fan. Big
Huge.
fan.
Bigly fan. Huge.
Wow, you're going to go
Huge.
there. We actually tried not to do any political jokes, so that's on you now. And actually, the True Blue 3s, we've been talking about it for a little while now. So what do we think of this True Blue 3?
Very nice. Very
Awesome.
nice. Yeah.
Super good.
Top.
Top?
Excellent.
Top
Sweet.
shelf, top
Very,
shelf.
very successful.
So the difference between this and the 2011 release, I'm saying, is the Nike Air branding on the back, and that was one of the main draws for me to try and re-up the shoe. So I was able to get a pair. It was not really a big problem. I think as we record, there's still sizes sitting
Still, yeah.
online in certain stores, right? Even Nike is carrying, they had multiple restocks of this, it looks like. So I don't know if just cancel orders or they actually had that much to restock over and over or what was going on, but there's still sizes sitting, and I was able to get a pair full retail price, no help, no assist, no nothing. I just hopped online, checked out all my resources, and was able to find a pair that was my size. So I got a pair, and I'm happy about it. What about you guys?
I got mine early. We talked about that
Yes.
last time through the
And you have it in hand now, I'm guessing.
kind of.
You have it.
I went to the border today, and then I just kind of.
All
I
right.
had too many shoes there, so I just came through with one.
Wow.
Okay, fair.
So-
You have too many shoes there. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
it's okay.
It's a good problem to have. And how about you, P?
Oh, I just picked mine up today. I got it sent from work.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I actually have it here with me.
There you go. And Joe, did you get a pair?
Yes, sir.
Did you get it the traditional way, online, raffle? How'd you get it?
Traditional. Missionary.
Blow Jays.
That's how you start. And
I
what do we
went to a store. It's this place where you can park a vehicle and walk into an establishment
You
that
have to walk.
sells.
There's no drive-through
It's-
sneaker
it's
shops
crazy.
yet.
Hey, there's a market. That's good.
There
I
you
like
go.
it.
Drive-through
Yeah.
but how do you serve everyone, right? there'll be cars parked like 3 days in advance.
First come, first serve, but actually it really works.
There'll be like a quarter-mile race to the.
You could never button line. Your car's already
I
there.
don't know, man. That sounds like a insurance hazard. If you ask me, for a first come first serve drive through.
Then there'll be another guy with a belt in the car.
We will get to that later, actually. And
fair.
It's
now
his serpentine belt. Automotive pun.
What type of car do you think he would drive? I'm thinking.
I don't
like a
think he
Ford
does.
Taurus.
I know.
I don't think he's allowed to drive.
Something with a drop top.
Let's say a broken down
LeBaron.
Nissan V2000 truck. Yeah,
The
or
LeBaron
a
convertible.
Wood paneling missing from the
Yeah.
sides.
Yeah.
And a torn convertible.
So now that we have these True Blue 3s, the OG retro in hand, what do we think of this particular release? Are we happy?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
These are my first threes.
First 3s for
First
Pierre.
threes for myself, so I'm pretty happy about them.
So you were able to get a pair. Again, you didn't strike out, but everyone that wanted a pair got a pair, which is how I think shoe releases should be.
Yes.
And
Yep.
a lot of happy Nike customers for this release. I haven't seen my pair yet. They're still sitting in the store for me to pick up. And I have taken a look at your pairs, and the elephant print, awesome. The leather, much better than the 2011s. Joe pointed out to me he brought his cement 3s, the 20, what the fuck year
I think
was
they're
this?
2012 retro 88s.
The OG 88, the 88 retros of the cement 3s that he brought. The leather between that and this week's True Blue 3, not exactly the same, but close enough, do you think?
Tumbled leather on the retro 88s. Like, let's start with no complaints whatsoever
Right.
on the True Blue
Yeah.
3s.
$295
None.
though.
None.
$295.
They're finding.
Is it worth the $295?
I think so. I think they hit it
Okay.
out of park with this one.
I think it's nice.
How much were the Oreo 4s?
Fuck. what is it?
$215.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I think I
Part
would.
of the remastered program, they were $215.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
eh?
Really? So how did they jump
Oreo.
to $295 in 1 year?
Because these are like
Nike Air
Space
branding.
Jam prices.
I guess that Nike Air
remastered.
branding is worth quite a bit more.
Yeah.
And like I said, I would buy not any, but I would buy a lot of these retros if it did have the OG branding on the
Yeah,
back, and
yeah.
it's a huge seller for me, and I'm very happy that I was able to get a pair, and just because they're sitting on the shelf doesn't mean that I regret buying them at full price or not early, but like the day it came out or anything. I was actually very thrilled that I was able to get
Yeah,
a pair
yeah.
with such little trouble. So
Just comparing the leather on those two, the Retro 88's a little bit nicer, but yeah, it's still a great release.
It looks good.
Still looks really,
but you
really
do
good.
get that little bit more
Yeah.
elephant print on the True Blues, it seems like.
Yeah, on the ice day, yeah.
Yeah, man, I have no complaints. So I am happy. I'm gonna keep
Yep.
them, and eventually I'm gonna wear them. So we all keeping ours, right?
Yeah, man. I'm keeping mine.
Everyone looked to Pierre like he's the reseller in the room.
He's got too many. He has no room left in his house, right? You got
Starting to get there, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're gonna start.
What happened? What
moving
happened
some
there?
stuff.
Moving some stuff, eh?
Yeah, I
okay,
gotta start
okay.
moving some
I
stuff.
got to do the same thing.
What's
I
your
gotta clean it
address?
out.
So we got.
Secret.
So all of us got the True Blue 3s. We're all happy.
Ecstatic.
None of us regretted buying it, and it was something we was looking forward to since they announced it. So I'm happy. Everyone's happy.
Yep.
So let's move on to that. Anything else that we've copped this week? How about
Yeah,
you,
with,
Joe?
with Jason's help, we got the top threes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
The
I
top
forgot
threes.
about that.
Yeah, man. The top 3 Jordan 1s. Apparently, they were fairly limited. Not every store had them. For us in Vancouver, there's a couple of first come, first serve lineups, and they fulfilled themselves fairly quickly. And online was a bust as usual because I tried to get them on a Nike, and it's the usual queue up and then spinning thing telling you to
yeah.
wait and don't
It was
refresh,
terrible
and
on
next
there.
thing you know, sold out. I'm like, okay, time to work. So I went to work. Didn't really regret missing them just because like I've already spent so much money on shoes and everything. But next thing you know, fucking Kurtz hits me up with a message.
Yeah.
What happened there, Kurtz?
You up?
Yeah, I hit you up.
What you wearing?
I knew that there was a place that had first come, first serve, and I thought I would try my luck because it was releasing on Monday, and most people have to go to work. And
That's what you think. Fuck.
I have to go to work too, but I'm a little more flexible with the time, so I went to go check it out, and sure enough, there's only a couple people waiting, so
Man,
was
was
able
it
to
like
cop
a sleeper
first come.
location? What happened?
Yeah, it was.
Did it,
it's
like-
not well known, I think, yet that
Did
they
they
released.
announce
So
the way they're releasing like later than you? Oh, whoa.
no, it's just always buried.
location
in,
is
in
kinda
an
shitty, though.
email or something like. Yeah, it's hard. It's not easy
Yeah.
to get to yet. And then I was able to get one through the sneakers app.
There you go. So that's
That
your size for
that was me,
yourself.
yeah, and then I hit a raffle as well. So I was like, "Well, this is
Wow.
pretty good."
That's not bad at
Yeah.
all. So you hit 2 that are raffles.
I blew my wad on the top threes and then
Yeah, man.
failed on everything else miserably the rest of the week. So.
And you messaged me asking me what size I was, blah blah blah, and I'm like, all right, I love this question. So what's next, Kurtz? What happened?
Well, I mean, I was in the store waiting, and then I knew that I got my pair, so I was like, "Hey, does anyone need a size?" And then I checked in the store and had the size, and you said yes.
Squad.
And
Yeah, man.
That's how it
Hashtag
works.
That's
squad.
how it works, I guess.
yeah,
There you go.
Yeah.
So who didn't get a pair of these top 3s?
I got one.
Oh, don't be like
Joe,
that, Joe.
did you not get a pair?
I did not.
How do you feel about this shoe?
I did not.
This is the moment that I think we've always talked about, isn't it? Where everyone else gets it,
This
and
was
then
Pierre
and this
before
is
like 3 months ago. I'm now Pierre.
So it's,
unlucky Pierre.
so Joe passed on these. Did you try to get them?
Technically, I guess I was up.
Yeah.
Sneakers app countdown.
Yeah.
Waited for it,
Yeah.
and then just had like that 30-second hesitation
That's all it
to
takes.
decide.
5-second
whether or not-
hesitation will sell out.
whether
Yeah.
or not I was
Yeah.
going to pick
And
it
these
up.
are so limited. You can't think.
It was available for a good 5 or 10 minutes, but
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it was. I
Are
don't know
these
what it
limited?
was.
They're supposed to
Yeah,
be.
ones
Ching,
are usually
ching.
pretty.
Whoa!
Just kidding.
We don't. So it looks like Pierre's gonna be very
Looks like my-
fruitful in the winter and
Looks
the
like my
holiday
Space Jams are
season.
gonna be free next week. I'm kidding.
no.
I'm kidding.
So I was able to get a pair thanks to Kurtz here,
Yeah.
and 2 more here from Kurtz and Pierre. We all got a pair except for Joe. What do you think about the top 3s now that we have it in hand? Because no one's really seen this in hand before.
No,
I've heard-
they're nice. I like them.
Different.
Yeah, I mean the
Definitely
quality of them. Like I think we were comparing them to the Black Toes, same sort of quality. Not as good as the bread ones,
Yeah.
but still nice.
I like them.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
them more than I thought I would. I was kind of
Yeah,
dismissing them, I guess, the previous month, saying that there's this shoe, there's that shoe. If I had to choose, this wouldn't be on the top of my list, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. But when Kurtz is like, hey, do you want a pair?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
Exactly.
Easy
Like,
sell.
it's one of those, man. And
easy sell.
no, it's like if I had to work for it or line up, I'm like, no, it's not worth it. But if Kurtz here is like giving me a handout,
Did
I'm like,
all the
yeah.
leg work.
You know,
for
like when you go to like your friend's house and your friend is say new to the country, and then their mom's like, hey,
Wait for it. Wait for it.
I'll get there. Don't worry, Joe. And I'm talking about when we were kids, right? We go to our friend's house. They're new to the country, and their parents are like, "Hey, tell your friend that we have extra food. You want to try some?" And then you look at her and goes, "I don't know what this food is. I don't know if I'm gonna like this." But you eat it anyways, and it's not terrible. But at least it's free, and it was offered to you, and you're like, that makes up for it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Well, these shoes aren't free. Just remember that.
Oh shit! Sorry. I thought we had a deal. What's going on? Well, I don't know if I want them anymore. No. I'm very happy that I got a pair.
Yeah.
Another Jordan 1.
Yep.
Well, technically 3 Jordan 1s in one.
Which 3 were
Yeah,
those,
that
Pierre?
is.
Pierre, quick, 3.
What?
Top 3. Which are they? Quick.
Hands,
hold
hands
on.
on
Quick.
No,
You know
no,
what
hands
the
on
last
the
time
bell.
the
3
reason-
colors.
No, now.
3 colors.
Don't
What are
think.
they?
Go quick.
Chicago ones.
Well, maybe that's up for debate. Go on.
Okay. Royals.
Yeah.
Okay. And Black Toes. No, not the other.
You're missing one very important one. The interchangeable would have been Chicago and
Black Toe.
and Black Toe.
Yeah.
You forgot. Which one did you forget?
I said Royals. I said Chicago's, and I had.
And then you did Black
Black
Toes, but you
Toes.
forgot the one.
most important one.
It's starting to get really hot.
Forgive
in
us,
here.
our Father, our daily.
Can you guys-
daily?
Oh, bread wine.
Oh my God!
Woo!
At least he didn't say Concord band.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
You're right. No,
fragments.
my bad. You're right.
Or
It's not.
fragments.
It's not.
We
the
gave
Black
you
Toes,
so
it's the
many
bread
chances
one.
to
Yeah.
redeem yourself with this top 3. I don't know if you should
Why
be
am I
able to.
sweating again?
Kurtz, should he be able to keep this thing or
Yeah.
what?
that the price is
How about this?
doubled now.
Next week, how about when we record again, we'll test you again. We'll give you another
It's going to be one of those. Fine.
I'm going to have to quiz
I'll
you.
get it
like
tattooed.
a
I'll get it
driver's
tattooed.
test.
we have to make you a T-shirt now that has those on there.
It was not in the
trees
radar,
equals.
guys.
All with
It
the
was not in the
ampersand.
radar.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you
Black
deserve
toe
these.
in Chicago. Except his
Yeah.
will be like
Too late
shattered
now.
backboards, infrared. and
Concord,
He's just making up colorways now.
purple haze, chartreuse.
OG sour diesel.
If they ever release one called that, oh man, Joe's gonna be owed some money.
Wait, I got a question on that because I know it's been going around Instagram, and we were just talking about how it's debatable which of the third colorway there is Black Toe or Chicago One. I want to ask you guys and the people listening who believe it is the Chicago One, how do they get there? How is that possible? People think that the white color quarter panel and the black swoosh corresponds to the Chicago, but the eye stays black.
Okay.
So
I understand
which would
where
mean
you're
black
coming from.
toe. So if people want to argue that it is the Chicago, then you'd have to argue that the fragment colorway's in there too, because
Yep.
on the other side it's blue
Take it easy,
with the
Pierre.
black black eye stay with a white corner panel, and
Since
black
Pierre's the
But
expert,
Fragment
let's
was not
ask-
an original. Like,
Don't even
No,
put
I
me
know.
on this anymore.
like top three, I guess top three selling
most
or most popular, right?
But if people
But
activate,
Fragment, well, I don't think
I think-
Fragment,
but I'm saying
yeah.
if people are
Yeah.
arguing that the Chicago one's in there with a black eye stay,
Oh, yeah.
then you have to argue that the Fragment's in there because there's a black eye stay with
With the
blue
yeah.
heel counter and white quarter panel. So
Yeah.
we go top four real quick on this.
Yeah.
I'll just give my 2 cents because that's what I do. I think the bread one and the royal ones, no debates, right? We're pretty satisfied that those two are officially in the top 3, and I think it's actually the Chicagos that are in this thing.
And how do you get there?
Because it's all technicalities. I'll just tell you why. I'm not looking at the colorway. I'm not looking at the paint. I'm not looking at the color scheme. I'm just thinking the 3 original colorways that released.
The black toes were before the Chicago.
But were they released to the general public?
yes.
Before the Chicago and the Breads. You know what I mean? I think that the top 3 were given the name the top 3 because they are the first 3 to have released. What do you guys think of that theory?
I honestly don't see it. This is like that. This is the sneakerhead version of that white and black dress that looks blue and gold, quite frankly, because I look at the shoe, I see
So
black
was it
toe.
Bill Murray or
Yeah.
Tom Hanks?
Because I see blue, I see the Chicago, or sorry, I see the black toes. That's when I
Okay.
look at it, I see that shoe.
That's why I said it's interchangeable. I don't think either of us are wrong. It is mainly the Chicago colorway, but the fucked up thing is they
So
don't.
technically, I'm wrong, is what you're saying.
No.
Some
But
bitch.
it does have. It
Nice
does,
move,
it
though.
does, no.
No
It
one's
does,
wrong here, but in the world of reality, you're wrong.
but the only problem is they didn't put the color swatch of the toes on there, and that's the big tell, right? So that is, I don't know, man. Like I'm happy with either one. I just want to say Chicago because that's one of the original colorways that I remember.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like, oh, the color over here is right. Oh, the shade is a little bit off.
Oh yeah,
I don't want to.
I'm
I don't
not
want
a
to play
fan
that
of people
game.
who are like the shape of this OG remastered toe box isn't the same.
That's all. I'm just saying like according to historically like the release schedule and this and that, and that's all I'm going by. Nothing else. So.
So you honestly believe that the upcoming Jordan 9 is the Space Jam 9? If you're saying you're just going strictly by release info and not by what the actual shoe looks like.
It doesn't matter. They can call it whatever they want, man. Like I've been corrected that it's the flu game 12s and band 1s all year, and it's just something I'll have to accept, right? So it doesn't really bother me that much. Just I'm the type that I'm like, okay, either or. But some people are like, no, they are the band ones. Don't call them bread. Like those people, I might have a little bit of problem with. But I'm
Enough
one of
to
those
get your belt out?
little bit. I might have to carry extra belts. You never know. So that's the happier part of us copying the last few releases. That's all. That's basically the main ones that we've got the past week, right?
Yep.
Anything else that you guys want to?
I mean, did anyone pick up
Disclose?
any kind of like Cyber Monday, like last minute deals or anything
No, I
like that?
sat and we talked about that 9316
Yeah.
Adidas
Yeah.
EQT.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I sat and I knew it was marked down to such a great price and then went the next day and it was gone.
Did you were trying to buy it online, or did you go to the store?
Yeah, another instance where I just left it to sit, didn't impulse buy it, and that's
I
like
impulse buy.
reverse
Yeah.
impulse buyer's remorse on that one now, because now it's back up to 180 plus tax and ship.
Are you a fan of the EQTs?
That upper, on that.
Okay.
I really
That
dig
And at that
one
price
is
point,
nice,
you're a
yeah.
fan.
really
That
dig
shoe's
that
nice.
shoe.
Dude,
All right,
for
I understand.
$90 plus tax,
Yeah, man.
can't go wrong. Yeah,
I did go
Loose
wrong.
sole. You did go wrong. I'm sorry.
I fucked up.
You fucked up before. Remember, you didn't cop those Nike IDs when you had the chance, and now,
Yeah.
so now it's never come up again.
Bitch.
So just want to remind you of
these
that.
these are first world problems, because when you have enough shoes in the quiver to last you months
that's,
on months,
That's
and
our
months.
problem on this panel, is that we forgot to spend money.
Yeah. Fuck.
So that's the happier part of our copping week. Other than those Nike ones, like there were a lot of heady shit that
Yeah,
came out this
man.
week, man. Like
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
And the first one I want to talk about is, it's gonna hurt a little bit. Were the reigning champ Ultra Boosts.
Oh.
Okay. So, I think I talked about this a lot the last few episodes. I think I can safely say that I am a very big fan of this shoe. It's probably one of my top wanted shoe of the fall season, maybe the calendar year. It's probably this year's favorite Adidas release. The main draw for me is that it is the reigning champ branding. Reigning champ, Vancouver, local company, and except for the Adidas shit, like mostly all made in-house, not in-house, but in Canada. And I'm a big supporter of stuff that's produced and distributed
Yep.
from Canada.
Yep.
And I'm a supporter of this brand, reigning champ and Adidas, Ultra Boost, like everything I can get behind. So when this shoe was announced, I'm like, okay, all right, it's reigning champ. We're in Canada. We're gonna get a lot, and the numbers being distributed within Canada is still kind of up in the air. We don't really know. It looks like a lot of us were able to cop a pair locally. By a lot of us, I mean like
Not us directly.
12. So there's a few stores that had them. The Usual Suspect, the small boutique stores, and Reigning Champ flagship store over here in Vancouver.
Yep.
The only problem was the flagship store had a lineup like, I don't know,
was
it was
big,
18 hours prior to open or some shit like that, maybe even earlier, the first couple of people that showed up. But there were more people lining up than there were shoes available. I'm guessing around 60 people for a double size run, maybe. Because I don't see...
I think there was more than 60 people,
Okay.
to be honest. Like,
By
when
the time
drove by,
the
it
last I
was-
checked in, I saw
Yeah.
estimated head count of around 60 people.
Yeah.
And the Reigning Champ store is, in West 4th, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
It's not the worst part of town, but it's all, outdoorsy and no fucking where to hide from the rain. And it was not a nice night for us anyways.
West side, homie.
Plus, you got to watch out for that.
You never know, right? He
West
might
side.
show up, Ronald. And
It is the West Side.
so I ended up trying online. There was two major releases that I had the best opportunity copying, and the first one was midnight Eastern time, so 9 o'clock
9
our
o'clock
time,
our time,
on
yep.
the Reigning Champ website. So the one big problem I had with that release, I'm not saying they did anything wrong. The only problem is that they use Shopify.
Yeah.
So, so you know where we're going with this, okay? Shopify, like I said, I'm a big supporter of Canadian branding, and Shopify is a Canadian company, so good for them. They make it very easy for retailers to have an online store and to fucking set everything up and have a very smooth running website that does all this and that. But they are not the best at handling capacity. And one of the biggest exploits of Shopify would be the use of bots. You can check encoding, so you can know specifically what sizes are available, how fast they're checking out, this and that. There's a lot of ways around it, which I am not an expert of, so there's no way I can take advantage of these exploits. So, and I was on my phone at a restaurant when this dropped. So it was kind of against me, right? And once the thing dropped, I hung around the restaurant even after everyone left trying to cop these things. And I wouldn't believe that they were sold out. I'm like, I won't believe it. I want to get a pair. And I didn't get a
So
pair.
sad,
So long story short, I wasn't able to get a pair. And I'm guessing the same for you guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys did exactly the usual shit, like fucking waited until exactly 9, refresh, add to cart, gone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Same thing.
And then hanging by Twitter with KicksteelCA, shout out, him tipping us off with inventory count and what sizes are going and this and that, and if people are checking out successfully. I'm guessing that all of us had the same routine and feeling at the end of this release, right? I struck out fair and square.
Yep, me too.
Frustration.
Joe, did you try?
I looked.
You're such a bastard.
that evening when things, some people were able to start putting in cart, and orders were actually going through, but they were canceled.
Yeah.
So I kind of took a look and looked at it. But when you're following a social media feed like KicksteelCA, shout out, and you see that the hype's growing, for me, it starts to turn it off. I get turned off, is what I'm saying. Even with a local company like that you want to support. Just seeing people go apeshit for it and knowing that
I had no idea there was such a kind of international appeal to this brand.
Yeah.
You strap limited on anything. We can mention
No, I
half
don't
a dozen
know, man.
shoes.
But
here
wasn't there a
that
bit of a glitch though too with when they previewed the shoe online, and then they had to remove it?
Yeah.
You-
That's
yeah.
it. They were orders were going through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's another one of those people were checking out early.
Someone used because you could go through the back end with the bot and buy it. Someone posted it and then they took the shoe
It's
down.
fucking nefarious.
Yeah, nefarious.
It's been a while since I brought that back, actually.
I like that.
So I wasn't able to get a pair, but there was still another shot for me in the morning, right? 7 a.m., I think, like usual Adidas drop time.
Yep.
But the only problem was they had very, very few pairs of this shoe, even less than most of their limited releases. So I was very hopeful I could get a pair, and I went online and. Next thing you know, the usual 7 o'clock rolls around.
Same old.
The size chart pops up just to fucking tease me a little bit. I tried to add to cart, and of course sold out. Wasn't surprised. I didn't even try any longer. I'm like, okay, it says sold out. I'm gonna move on just because I know everyone wants this shoe. Not only is it the reigning champ branding, but the fucking colorway is just dope.
Yeah.
And I wasn't able to get a pair, and then I saw the resale prices online, and that kind of scared me off. I had a price set in my head how much I was allowing myself to spend on this, and I was already being fairly generous in my head, but the numbers way exceeded what I thought they'd be worth. I was seeing price ranges from $500 to $800.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're worth that much. I'm guessing we can go to StockX and check it out, but the last time I checked, my size was around $400 to $415 US.
Yeah.
For the reigning champ, so that's a little bit more reasonable, but still not affordable. So I've had problems buying Adidas shit online the last month, 2 months, 3 months, I guess.
I don't think I've ever gotten anything off.
I've
of their
gotten
site.
lucky before Adidas
Yeah.
started getting super hypey, but that was one of the most disappointing releases for me. I still really want it. I'm guessing they'll never re-release that colorway again. Unless there's some stocks sitting around.
Are you totally quitting, or you're still gonna try?
I'm still
or?
gonna try if the right price. I'll even buy a used pair. I don't give a fuck. But if the price is right, I'll get a pair. I'll go half a size up, half a size down, whatever it takes for
Price
me
is
to
right
get a
though,
pair.
right?
Yep.
Yeah,
It's one of those ones you want to have in your collection. I
Oh
think.
yeah,
It's a
one of those
must.
pairs.
Yep.
I've been making plans to fucking wear this thing all year round, or all year already, and that one really, really hurt. And after the last episode about us taking L's, and I was like, "Oh, don't worry, you'll get your chance.
You'll get over it. And then,
I did not exercise that mentality that we talked about last week. Let's just put it that way.
salty and sour.
How do you guys feel about not being able to cop that pair? Were you as salty as me?
Well, I don't
not
think it
salty.
even
Clearly
applies
not.
No.
to Joe. 'Cause
These
he
guys are
doesn't
all
care
right.
either way.
You want to see the scars on my wrist?
Yeah, I was disappointed. I was just like, oh, why is this so difficult? Why, and you always see other people. They're like, KicksteelCA, shout out, always posts people like, let's see who got the wins.
I don't know about that. Maybe you should
But I
stop
was-
fucking doing that. I don't need to see that shit.
But
I want it to be a
it's
mystery.
It's a little salt in the wound. But yeah, it was disappointing. It was something I really wanted to kind of get my hands on. I didn't
know,
think it was
right?
going to be that difficult, but there was other places that were first come first serve that were potential opportunities.
Well, I didn't hear
and-
about any fucking drama coming out from the first company. That's a
No,
good thing, right?
I did.
So,
I did hear about a different store that doesn't normally.
how many stores carried this shoe locally?
Off the top of my head, I can think of 3 or 4.
Okay.
3.
Raining Champ, I know. Livestock had some.
Livestock, Haven. And then there was another store that I heard. Yeah, Gravity Pope.
Oh yeah.
Their clothing store, whatever it's called, Goods or.
Oh, I thought it was just Gravity
say.
Pope.
Gravity.
No,
Pope
it was
had
it was their clothing store next door that had it.
Oh,
and
shit.
they had 20 pairs for 4 stores.
Jesus Christ, that's it, eh?
And then they
Why even bother?
Yeah.
I'm guessing some people found out and they lined up and
It was on their
took their chances.
the only reason they found out because it was on their Instagram.
I don't even follow them.
I don't
on
follow. I don't
Instagram.
follow. Yeah,
man.
exactly.
So good for the people that actually follow them, loyal
Yeah.
customers, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, a few of them. I'm guessing less than 100 pairs to be released.
I heard
locally.
90,
Ooh, that's getting there. That's 90.
Where's
for,
this at?
like local.
Like in
Like
store,
for
right?
all stores,
Yeah, that's
including
just a
Reigning
number.
Champ.
Okay.
Yeah.
Raining Champ probably had the
You would
most,
think they would have
obviously.
more product
Well,
than that.
they had. Well, you just talked about it. They had
Yeah.
60 people in line, and they were already through their size run.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I heard
yeah.
90. Who absolutely knows?
right. And who knows how many like got sold to the front, right? Through the front. So we can just speculate that's less than 100 pairs, and everybody wanted the shoe, and it shows because there's people posting looking for this shoe, and I've been very tempted to do that, but I know if I post it looking for, they know it's like a chance for them to gouge me because I'm desperate.
Do you know what's annoying is those pictures where like guys post pictures of like 5 or 6 boxes in bags, and
So I'm just wondering, there's one person that lines up for these. How did they get 5 of these?
I don't get it, and that's what makes it salty even more, right? Because like
Multiple cops.
back doors
yes.
or
How did
however.
I get? Well, then you could say the same thing about me hitting 3.
There's no raffle
But
for this shoe, dude.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
it.
that's true. Yeah, but
2 of them
online,
were-
right? You could try it. So
Yeah, but like nobody fucking buys online and receives
Yeah.
it that afternoon.
that's true. Yeah.
They gotta
Yeah.
have gone through
Some other
Yeah,
channels
man, like a
and-
retail outlet. So I don't know, man. These people with 5-6 pairs, that's just shady.
And considering that it's local, most likely it's easier for them to get backdoored,
I know.
right?
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Like,
Have you ever
there's
seen
that
that
but
actually happen in a lineup?
everybody fucking dreams about doing that, right?
Yeah.
So I can imagine it happening. Actually, no, I have seen it happen. I was trying to get the Baron ones, like fucking talk about like.
Is that frowned upon, or is that still part of the game?
No, it's part of the game.
Yeah.
Like I remember 3 people lining up for some dude, and then like buddy rolls up in a nice car, and then fucking gives him some cash, and then they walked in and bought 4 pairs of Baron ones.
Wow.
not the most sought after
I
shoe
know.
in the long run, but he took his chances, took his gamble, and that's right. But how do you like pay someone like to line up overnight in the rain and the cold?
People don't know the value of their time, and we touched on this really early on.
Yeah.
in this is like people will who you know are going to be reselling the shoe immediately and
Yeah.
have it posted after they buy it.
Yeah.
Who will wait 8, 10, 12 hours overnight
Yeah.
to try and make $100 profit.
Yeah,
they
they're
don't-
underestimating the.
Then
the
they don't
value of their
factor in
time.
the hourly wage that they've just put in
Yeah.
to get it, So
That's how I usually determine whether or not I want to line up for a pair of shoes. Is that if the amount of lining, well, first of all, I like
Hours.
lining up with cool people. Like if I know that my friends are going, then that encourages me to join them. But if it means that I can mathematically only make around $5 an hour instead of paying the resale, then I usually would skip that lineup. But if I have to line up 10 hours to buy a Yeezy, I might fucking take that chance. So that's all it comes down to is how much my time is worth to me.
Mm-hmm.
And as us that have been working full-time jobs or whatever, we can determine the value of our time with a little bit more experience than these younger cats out there, right?
Oh yeah.
And that's where the maturity comes too, right?
Yeah,
Like,
man,
I
I'm
mean,
super mature. Whoa, what's so funny? So that was one of the releases that we were not able to get. I am still very salty. I will be forever hunting a pair in my size at my price range. I'm not going to disclose my price range just in case you want to tease me a little bit. Another release that came out, were multiple of them, I'm just going to group them all together, is the colored Ultra Boost set. Some of them, there was like the triple black.
Yeah.
And there's the uncaged triple black. Man, this one is hilarious. Let's talk about, dude, was it yesterday when this
December
thing happened?
1st.
So I think yesterday or the day before, when the triple black Ultra Boost was released on the Adidas.ca website, and I'm just gonna bypassed all the other smaller stores. They did what they could to release them as fair as they can. Good for them. They didn't have any stock, as in they probably had like 5 or 6 pairs to sell for the whole country. They did the best they could. They facilitated as many customers as they can. But Adidas.ca, that's where I start griping a little bit.
Yeah.
They had reportedly 60-ish pairs, so around 50 or 60 pairs of these triple black Ultra Boosts. And what happened was, as usual, they come out at 7 a.m. our time, 10 a.m. Eastern, and we did that thing where, we sat around, refreshed at 7:01, and then next thing you know, sizes popped up. We tried to add to cart, and then what happened next?
CAPTCHA.
The CAPTCHA, which means that you have to manually select from an analog photo of certain criteria, such as street signs, storefronts,
Pubic
water,
hair.
Windows. Trees.
shit like that.
Beaches.
So, they
grass.
try and make it as
Make you look dumb.
bot-proof as possible. And this,
That's
Spot
a
the
peninsula.
red fox.
That's a peninsula, not a beach.
that's why I couldn't buy it. Oh,
Why am I wrong?
you missed that little strip of land there. So this CAPTCHA feature tries to make it bot-proof so that manual users can check out with ease. The only problem was, the morning of this release, the CAPTCHA was down for the count.
Crapcha. It was terrible.
So you try to add the size, you click on add to cart, and it says error or whatever, and the CAPTCHA won't load. Therefore, you couldn't add to cart. And that's how I felt about my whole life this week. And none of us were able to add to cart. So Kicksteel CA, shout out. He whoa, what the fuck?
I was adjusting something on my phone. I sincerely
Now we know how
apologize,
Joe
every
really
per-
feels about Kicksteel CA.
Wow. Truth comes out.
Man, fuck you, regular people. It's happening again. Jesus, Kicksteel CA.
Thank you, Joe. Hopefully that redeems him.
God damn it.
So, Kicksteel CA, shout out. He was informing all his followers that stay tuned. Adidas probably trying to fix this problem, and nobody should be checking out. But the funny thing is, as this CAPTCHA was still not working, sizes were just disappearing, one after another, disappearing until they said pretty much sold out. Everything was grayed out, and apparently it looked like that they were sold out of this Treble Black Ultra Boost, even though no one can technically check out. So, in my estimation, it seems like foul play, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so
Foul play.
do you
Very
wanna call
foul.
Wow.
Nefarious
Another
play.
first world issue. This was a crime, and someone needs to be punished.
and it seemed to me that there were some electronic assistants.
Well, what if you guys just weren't that smart? Maybe someone
my
actually
God.
saw a
Or-
street sign in the
Jesus,
background that you guys didn't see.
How many?
But this is with-
how many
this
years
is
of
with
law did
CAPTCHA
you
not
study there,
working.
Joe? Just trying to find every. It seems like a lot of people were frustrated that the sizes were checking out, and people were actually able to cart and check out a lot of these shoes, and the manual user was not able to due to.
You couldn't even you see
a
the
technical-
sizes, but you couldn't
Oh,
put
yeah.
them in your cart. So
But not even that, man.
Yeah.
Sizes were disappearing, which
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
scary part. I'm like, okay, now what? Adidas usually don't correct their mistakes, man. And that's one of the scariest things that happened to me is that I'm like, oh shit, here we go. So all these people with bots, all these people with ATC services, they're gonna get all the fucking wins of the day. And I was fairly upset because I wasn't given, no matter how shitty my chances were, like I was not given a fair opportunity, if you ask me. And I think that Adidas realized what had happened, and I'm guessing they canceled all the orders. I'm hoping they did anyways. They canceled all the orders that were nefariously carted and checked out. So they rescheduled the launch at 11 a.m. our time. By that time, I'm already at work, so I already kind of threw in the towel, and I tried maybe 5 minutes after the release just to see what had happened, and of course, I think they were sold out pretty much immediately within like a second or 2 seconds or
there
something
was
like that.
I don't even. Yeah, I think it.
I think
didn't
I
even
saw
give you the option.
Yeah, man.
to
I think I
pick
saw
anything.
that it said sold out before they were even launched. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I saw sizes and then it was sold out. You
yeah.
couldn't do
So
anything, so
it was a wash. Doesn't matter. I wasn't able to get a pair, and it was one of those shoes that it would have been nice if I had them, but it's no reigning champ for me. So
Mm-hmm.
I moved on. That was not nearly as big of a sting as the reigning champ loss that I took. And I'm guessing none of us got a pair, right?
Nope.
I saw someone trying to resell those for $800. You know what I mean?
Fairly- well, they're limited
But
too, right?
they're actually really nice stuff.
Yeah, but like $5 extra $100 for some paint, that's
I know.
kind of silly.
Yeah.
So that's just my. They are very nice, but it's not so nice that they're worth fucking like Yeezy money if you ask
No,
me.
they're not worth easy money.
And it's just an Ultra Boost with some black paint on the fucking midsole. That's all. So are we super upset that we missed this one?
No.
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 All right, I can move. I know Joe loves those Ultra Boosts.
Plus, we got Kurt to customize ours.
Yeah,
I guess so.
We,
Black it
we
all
could have
out.
done it already by the time we were sitting here.
I
We
know.
could've
Yeah,
made
man, we
our
talked
turbo
longer
box.
than it
Isn't
took.
that
Typical
Curse?
black
Just
True
spray-
Blues. Just
Yeah.
get
There
the
you go.
Angelus paint out. Let's just paint up these True Blues
Done.
right now. Triple
Yeah,
black.
we could do by
Didn't
the
they
end
just
of the
do that
podcast.
the Cyber Mondays?
Yeah, that's true.
I think we're set.
Yeah. So now, does this turn you guys off at all to Adidas? Like,
Fuck
if,
yes.
If this were a brick and mortar store who can't get their fucking door open to allow customers in to buy their product, but there's another store that has it that you can actually get into, do you stop going to that store? Does
Yes.
this affect how you guys do it?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you imagine if like there's 50 people lining up for a shoe, and then you get inside the store, and then you try and swipe your card, the card doesn't work.
Yeah.
But like the fucking people that with like illegal cards, stolen cards, they work. Like, wouldn't you be choked? And would you ever go back knowing that's how they run their business?
Yeah.
No, man. Adidas has been fucking nefariously like striking out everybody that wants their shoes. First of all, like, why are they so limited? Like the gold medal pack, they had like 12 pairs.
Well, we know why they're limited.
We know why, but in the States they're not. In Europe they're not. They're sitting
I
because
get-
there's
I
so
get what
many.
you're
Why
saying.
is Canada being
I get what
allotted
you're
such
saying. I get what you're
Small
saying.
amount.
yeah,
yeah,
it doesn't
yeah,
make
no,
sense.
this
I'm like,
is-
okay,
yeah.
they're sitting in the States. Why don't they just ship a few over and then we'll clear it for them?
Well, like they used to do. Well, I mean, we're starting to see big box stores now handle things a little differently. But even 3 to 5 years ago, and I'm sure it still goes on, but big box stores would ship inventory to other locations that weren't
Yeah.
selling out. Like
Exactly.
when things were booming in Alberta, like Champs and Foot Locker in Chinook Center Mall in Calgary, they'd move product. So things that wouldn't sell here would just ship to Calgary because it would move.
I'm
And
guessing
it
that
seems like,
Adidas
I don't
and
know why the fuck they're not doing
Adidas.ca
that.
are completely different.
I wonder if it's another
companies at
situation
all.
where they're dealing with different inventory, like Nike.ca is with their European,
Sharing with
wholesaling
another-
or warehousing or whatever.
That's the thing,
hell it
man.
is.
Like,
Yeah.
if you got products sitting on shelves in the States, why don't you just move them up here and fucking we'll move it for them? It should be that simple. It should
I like
be,
that
right?
idea.
I'm
Me
like,
too.
everybody's like, well, why are you paying so much for your Ultra Boost and your NMDs? They're just sitting everywhere else. I'm like, because we don't get them. That's why. And speaking of NMDs, okay, this is the topic of the day. So let's just get to the less dramatic part of it first, okay? So we talked about this last week. I'm very somber right now. One of my favorite streetwear brand. What is it?
Bape.
Exactly. In fact, you can see
Bape.
some Bape posters over
Champion.
there.
I know. I saw
that are
yeah.
framed.
Yeah.
Those are the Stutzy Bape collab. And
Oh, yeah?
When
Yeah.
I bought, like,
Is it an actual like poster that they
I got it at Stutzy.
create? Yeah.
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 So I got 3 of those. One of them was still rolled up. 2 of them I framed. I was gonna hang it, but I got too lazy.
Oh.
And they're very nice. I framed them. And Bape, one of my favorite streetwear brand of all time. And Adidas NMDs, we all know how I feel. I got a stack of NMDs in the back, and I'm a big fan of them. One day I'm gonna wear them. And once I heard about the Bape collabing with Adidas to make their own NMD, I was very excited. I saw the official images of them months and months ago, and I'm like, oh, that's nice. Maybe the Bape store will get them. Maybe Adidas will get them. Like, I don't know how they're going to release these. Still a mystery until very, very recently when they announced that Adidas will be carrying them in store and online. So online, it was very Yeezy-esque how they released these. Theoretically, a random time that they released, 7:30ish, I'm guessing, a.m. our time. You would wait for a splash page. Very unusual of Adidas, but they do it with the Yeezys and some of the higher profile releases. You get in queue, and then once they randomly, quote-unquote, select you, you can select a size and try and check out. Reportedly around 68 pairs, both colors combined, for the entire country. And even fewer of the apparel, probably 10 to 12 of the expensive jackets and maybe 20 to 30 of the track jackets. So we're talking about 30 or so pairs of each colorway in the size run. So that's a double size run, I'm guessing. And I never got selected to select a size. So eventually they sold out. No problem. I already knew that they were going to be very, very hard to get. In fact, I talked about it last week, how I probably won't even try that hard. I'll try, but not so much that I was going to try, but I won't be disappointed or surprised if I don't get a pair. So how do you guys feel about that BAPE thing?
First of all, I think the shoe is nice. I like the olive color better, the green.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
They're more traditionally BAPE-esque.
Yes. They're a really nice shoe, and then the fact that it's NMD, it has a good design.
Yeah, I know, right?
But just, again, it's frustrating when you can't cop something or not even get a chance to because it's just way too weird to.
It's so exclusive and so limited that a lot of us probably took the L before it was even announced, you know what I mean? And I accepted it, okay, that I was going to get it online. But let's talk about the interesting part of this release. Throughout the country of Canada, there were only very, very select few Adidas flagship stores that carried this shoe. And the major cities would get them. And first of all, I can't even complain that we live in one of these major cities that would have one of these releases. I feel bad for, some of the smaller cities out there that also have sneakerheads that they don't even get a chance to line up for this thing. What I have heard, okay, nothing confirmed. This is just what I heard, that the Duck Camo XR1s that came out earlier that week, they were supposed to have been first come, first serve. So what had happened was that when you were to sign up for a raffle, it ended up being the XR1 Duck Camos that were raffled off. Well, Hey, Pierre, you signed up for the V2 raffle, right?
I did.
Was the XR1s an option as well when you went to sign? Okay.
No.
So this is probably the day after or whatever the Yeezy raffle ended. So people went there, they signed up, and they got a fucking a fairly nice pair of XR1s if they raffled and won. And it ended up being a mistake, as I have been informed, that the BAPE NMDs were supposed to be raffled and the Duck Camos were supposed to be first come, first serve.
Interesting.
But
interesting.
Head office was just like, just roll with it. Like, everything's been set up, the system's set up, and this and that. And I guess they just thought that we would be able to handle ourselves and
That makes
enthusiasm.
sense.
Ourselves in a positive
Yeah,
manner.
man. Like those
and-
Duck Camos, like they didn't end up selling out in some stores. That's how underappreciated those shoes were.
I like them, actually.
They're not
I
bad.
Really like them,
They're
yeah.
close to BAPE, kind of. They're BAPE-esque.
I'm guessing maybe that's where the mistake was.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that camel pair. Yeah, raffle those too. And what about the NMDs? And was like, what are we talking? I think they were confusing themselves with such a similar pattern. So that came and gone, no drama. The Duck Camo XR1s. But Saturday morning was the release of the BAPE NMDs, the two colorways, the black and the green camo. And what Adidas had...
What are you?
That's a
I get.
So Adidas was going to release these two shoes simultaneously Saturday morning at the time the store opened, 10 or 11 a.m., doesn't really matter. But what they wanted the customers to do was line up no earlier than the store closing, so which is 9 p.m. They didn't want the lineup to interfere with the lineup of the Black Friday sale. They were having an in-store Black Friday sale, so there was a lineup there. People were panicking.
man.
They saw a lineup. It goes, oh, shit. There's already a lineup. But later on was revealed that the lineup for the Adidas store was actually a Black Friday sale, not exactly the NMDs. So 9 o'clock was the target time to start a lineup. And word got out that there was only around 24, 26 pairs of these bitches. And so for some reason, 300 people thought they were going to be able to get one of these 24 shoes. And I don't know what exactly the plan and the execution was going to be. I don't know what Adidas was hoping would happen, that they would talk amongst themselves and work out who's the first 25, I guess. But 300 people ended up gathering at the front of this store by the time they closed, with no word of how they're going to release them, with no word of who's entitled to a pair when the store opens the next day, and basically left the 300 people, well, 300 plus probably, people out in the cold with what their chances of buying the shoe was going to be. So around 8:30ish, 8:45ish, we were lucky enough to watch on Facebook a live stream of this entire thing going down. That's a little preview of the events that's to happen. Around 8:45, all 300 plus people gathered around the front door of this thing. 9 o'clock, the store closes. The gates are closed. They have 2 security gates outside the exterior of the store. So, it's downtown. Things are a little bit sketchy down there. So they have maximum security, especially with 60-year-old rusty gates. So a bunch of these people started gathering in the front. No lineup was formed at all. And then eventually people got a little bit upset, a little bit tired, a little bit anxious, and proceeded to force their way into the store.
Wow.
Did they actually get into the store at all or damage anything?
I guess they damaged the front gate, the very first gate. There were 2 gates. The very first gate started caving in a little bit. I'm guessing it probably had some damage. And the thing I don't understand is what these people thought would happen after they pushed the gate in. Or do you think they can just run into the store and be like, hey, sell me one of these? I don't get it. What are they trying to do? Or is it really just the mob mentality of,
I think so.
this guy, if this guy's going to do it, then, so on and so forth.
And then how many of those people are actually people that want
I think after a while,
be there to get the shoe, or if it was just other people that just joined in at some point?
I don't even know exactly what they were getting at this point, or if everyone there is trying to get these shoes, or if some people there is just to see some shit go down. But I have a feeling after a certain point, these people probably lost sight of why they're there in the first place. They're just hanging out because they don't want the guy that stayed 5 minutes extra to get the shoes, and he did it because he left that little bit early.
Yeah.
It'd be like at a hockey game, and the guy leaves 10 minutes before a fucking blowout is over, and there's that small chance there might be a comeback.
And they need to come back.
Exactly. I think it's just that nobody wanted to leave. Nobody wanted to be the first to leave, so no one ended up leaving.
Yeah, but dude, the fact that there's only 20 pairs.
Well,
is it that small?
I think what happened is because there was no official lineup, all 300 plus people thought they had this exact same chance as the next guy to get one of these pairs.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, it does not.
If you watch this thing live, it doesn't make sense. I talked about it a little bit with my friends. It's very, very reminiscent of, I hate talking about this, but the Stanley Cup riots that happened in how many years ago?
2011.
Yeah, there you go, a bunch of years ago. And it was one of those deals where it just seemed like, okay, if one guy did it, then the next guy's going to do it. Next thing you know, everyone's doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It got to a point that's cops were there, but they weren't able to control the crowd, so the cops left. And I don't think an employee even came out. I thought it was either going to get canceled or do a raffle, or I don't know how they were going to try and release these, because it was so chaotic at this point that there's no way that 300 plus people were going to be able to come to an agreement on who's the first 25, 26 people.
Yeah.
And that's the part that I had a problem with Adidas releasing these first come first serve, is that they never set they set very direct guidelines, but they should have known that this a potential of this happening, and they just chose to want to let the consumers deal with it themselves.
No, and there should be more organization from
not just that,
Adidas,
man. They have to be accountable for some of this
They have to be.
chaos that happened, because they were inciting a fucking madness, because they knew. And some of this madness. All right. That's a little preview. I'm going to get right into this now. So of this chaos that was happening, as I said, a lot of us were watching this event live, guerrilla style, in the crowd, in the midst of this thing. Someone was nice enough to use up all his data to stream this thing on Facebook for us to watch, and I was I was more entertained, and captured my imagination more than half of the
So
scripted
good.
shows on TV. So this thing happened. A lot of nothing happened. A lot of people chanting random shit, starting chants in the crowd. That was all amusing and stuff.
There was, right?
There was.
Some good
I
ones.
was desperately trying to start a West Side Homie chant in the comfort of my own home, but I guess people were just too shy. But we were able to see a lot of the commotion going down, the gate destruction, the crowd being very impatient, and eventually there was some sort of ruckus that spilled onto the gravel street. We couldn't see anything. All we heard was a lot of cheering, a lot of excitement, and I messaged the streamer to get a better look of the action going on. So he was able to work his way up to the front of the crowd. So once he got to the very front of the crowd, what did we see?
This beauty, this shirtless beauty.
So there was this middle-aged looking shirtless guy just hamming out. What he was saying was kind of unintelligible, and
Could have been due to the large amount of alcohol consumption by him.
well, I
possibly.
don't want to assume anything, but
We could
it
assume
was
a lot
still
of
only
things.
like 9 o'clock. But
Yo, dude, he was wasted.
It's Friday.
okay, I'll
Having a
just
good
say that
time
he
on
showed
Friday.
symptoms of intoxication. Okay, like I said,
He had his shirt up.
what's wrong with that, man? Who doesn't take off their shirt in the
It's
middle of
winter.
November?
It's balmy here right now. Very balmy.
So he had no shirt on, and then eventually he made a move to suggest that he was going to take off his pants. It looked like.
Yes, he did.
I'm like, and then everybody lost their mind. And I'm like, oh my god, this is fucking like, I don't
This
want.
is what you've been waiting for.
I'm like, holy jeez, I'm gonna see something awesome like on live stream right now. This is the Janet Jackson nip slip that we've been waiting for. But the only problem was he didn't entirely take off his pants.
Wait, that
He
was
was just-
disappointing for
That was
you?
disappointing for me 'cause-
He was reaching for his
because what's-
accessory.
if that guy was taking off his pants, like then all bets are off because he has no shirt on. Like,
Why? Because you win.
as the viewer, I do win because I'm seeing free entertainment and engaging entertainment at that point.
This was must-see TV for Eugene.
It totally was, man, because I don't go out very often, especially that part of town, so I don't see wild shit like this. I'm guessing this is just Friday for this guy, but for like fucking like, sorry.
It's the norm. We have to call him Norm now because it's probably what he does all the
So
time.
Norm ended up not taking off his pants, but he did take off his belt. And what he and then
I'm just replaying it and I'm just laughing at it again.
what had happened after he took off his belt was he was just swinging that belt
Yeah.
in the wild.
Trying to flog some people.
There was a guy that had like a red big parka hoodie, and he got 2 good whips, man. Like
Thank God for his puffy jacket, though.
Yeah, exactly. And he took it like a champ, man.
I think it probably hurt the day after, though. But here's the crazy part. When he swung that belt, it was buckle out.
Was it buckle?
It was buckle out. He was not whipping with the pussy end. He was whipping with the business end.
That.
And like I've seen some whipping before with a belt,
Yeah.
but never with the buckle end, right? That's intent to kill. Usually you try and like teach a guy a lesson when you use the fucking pussy end, right? But now that he's using the business end, the buckle
Dude,
end,
you've never done something so bad that your mom did the belt?
no man, I'm Chinese. She uses a feather
dude.
duster.
Filipinos, yeah, we got that
We got
one.
You're Filipino, right? Did she
Yeah.
hit you with that giant spoon? The giant
Yeah.
wooden spoon?
We got that. We got that. Thrown
belt.
away in 20 yards, comes
Oh,
back.
my God.
Second round.
Boomerang effect, man.
Crazy like that. But like this guy wasn't there to like fucking teach someone. He wasn't there. No, he's not there to discipline people.
He was there to whip someone.
He was there to hurt people with the buckle end of a belt.
Man.
And he was trying to, like, he was swinging for the fucking fences. And it's not like he was whipping either. He was swinging the
Yeah.
belt. And that was scary. Like I said, like, if he hit somebody in the wrong part of the head, like the back of the head, like, that dude's down, right? So, I'm sorry. It's very serious, but I can't help but to laugh about this. Because, like, and the best part is how some of the news outlets kind of got this fucking story mixed up. They try to sensationalize it, trying to make it seem like fucking Norman there was
Or Indy. We'll call him Indiana Jones.
so Indiana Jones there. They made the news tried to make it seem like he was a very enthusiastic sneakerhead that went out of his mind to fucking get this shoe.
I think he was wearing Supremes.
Not anymore. I think
Fragment denim.
I think while he was whipping the belt, he was shouting out "fuck Supreme."
Fuck
was-
Bape. He was a Supreme head.
No. He wanted the shoe so bad because he's such a Bape head that he was just yelling "fuck Supreme" and whipping his belt. So I saw it live, so I have a better understand. I hope I have a better understanding than the fucking local news outlets that try to play this off as a very passionate sneakerhead that wanted a pair of BAPE NMDs.
But I mean, they were calling it Black Friday sale too.
Oh my god, they got it so wrong. Like
Yeah.
nothing. Like, come on, man. Like, a few things to get straight. It's not a Black Friday sale. Nothing was on discount. Norman, Indiana Jones there. I'm almost certain he's not there for the shoes. I think he was just.
Wanted to whip someone.
Why do you think you were fairly certain that he wasn't there for that?
Because I can't be sure. Maybe someone paid him to line up, and he fucking lost sight of what his goals are.
or he thought he was gonna have to fight a bitch to get his pair.
I think what happens is like, all right, someone paid him. Okay, he's like, all right, I'll give you $50 to line up overnight, but if you fucking secure the shoes, I'll give you $100. Then the fucking shirt goes off, and then once his shirt came off and no one was threatened, because it wasn't very threatening. Let's just be honest. The belt came off, and he's like, I need these. Fuck Supreme. And he just went fucking ham, and like that guy wild out, man.
Before the belt came off, I think he stepped into the middle of the street and he started shadow boxing. And people
shit,
weren't taking
was
him
it?
seriously.
Yeah, I
He
remember
threw-
that.
he threw a punch there that was straight out of a grade school kid in a.
So it was like
by
a
the bike
very-
rack. It was.
Like an NBA punch as opposed to an NHL punch. What? You ever seen like an NBA player like fight? Then they swing a punch. It looks like they're trying to hit someone around like behind a tree.
Oh, yeah.
It's embarrassing. Like I don't think his self-defense or offense skill was very up to par, especially when it's 1 on 300. Like it's literally like fucking King Leonidas. They're trying to.
This is Babe.
So Leonidas with his fucking army of 300 against fucking Indiana Jones there. I'm going to take the numbers game and say that it's one of those situations. We all fucking world starred this, okay? I'm surprised nobody yelled
It
world
was-
star.
No,
Someone
they
did.
were saying,
Someone
they were
did.
saying
Yeah.
World Star.
That's not original at all. Now I take it back. I'm surprised that someone's...
No West Side Homie though.
No West Side
No
Homie.
West
I was
Side
kind of
Homie.
disappointed that there was no West Side Homie being chanted in the whole event because it was such a great opportunity to make it a thing. Can you imagine like the news fucking broadcast it and they're just puzzled why we're saying West Side Homie to this shirtless dude whipping a belt? That'd be amazing. And like they can't edit around it. It's not like they're swearing or anything, so they have to show it. And it becomes an international meme. West Side Homie. That'd be
West Side
amazing.
Homie.
So the 300 people, I'm kind of disappointed in you that you missed a golden opportunity to meme yourselves for the world to see by not chanting West Side Homie. But let's get back to fucking Norman Indiana Jones here. Whipping that belt. And the news getting it wrong. What the fuck? Like, the part that disappointed, I know this is kind of off the sneaker topic now, but this is so fucking awesome. I need to talk about this a little longer. The usual high school bullshit where once he swung a little too hard and lost his balance, that's when the crowd fucking went in and like demolished the dude, right?
No, he got jumped by one guy from behind.
Well, he got sucker punched once, but he was
Yeah.
still standing, I think.
Yeah, he did.
But after that, he did like a fucking crazy swing, and that's when he lost his own balance because, like I said before, showed symptoms of intoxication.
Symptoms.
And then people just swarmed after that, huh?
Yeah, he was swarmed after, and then the police showed up like fucking like comically the perfect time to.
And it was a perfect angle too. Like the cinematography was perfect because that front end of that cop car came through the crowd just at the perfect angle
I'm
where
telling
that
you,
guy
man,
was.
it was
just absolutely
beautiful.
perfect.
It looked just like fucking CSI in Miami or fucking NYPD Blue or whatever. Yeah, the quick short siren, just drunk and like mad props to the camera guy.
Yes.
He fucking followed the action better than any fucking news channel could have. All he was missing was a helicopter shot. You know what I mean? And we were able to see this fucking magic just appear from in front of our eyes. And then Indiana Jones, Norman, there was apprehended by the police. And he was taken away. And then basically we kind of lost the feed, the live broadcast after that. And I was kind of disappointed that I don't know, man. I was just so ecstatic that fucking shirtless dude went fucking crazy and whipped everybody. And he tagged a few motherfuckers in the crowd too, not just one. Whew. I just got so excited.
Yeah, I mean, if he connected with someone, that person is now engaged in mutual combat.
So
feel free to tee off.
Yeah, man, he has the
Yeah.
right to fucking swing away, right?
I'm deeply disturbed by people who tackle.
No, it wasn't. He wasn't tackling.
Sorry, I mean
him.
who pile on.
Yeah, man, and
who
it's
try
one
and
of those
kick and
pussy
punch.
ass moves where
It
like
really
kick him on the
is.
ground and
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
I don't care how crazy he was acting. I'm not gonna say he was crazy, but the craziness that he was acting upon was nobody deserves a fucking 300-man pile up and beating on the
No,
ground
not
like
at
that,
all.
man. It was like
But nobody deserved to get whipped too, right? Like, I mean,
That's what I mean. If you got hit by the whip,
like
if you got Indiana Jones,
so the 5 people that whipped
Tee
him, they
off.
had to deserve. They can fucking fireball him. They can tiger uppercut him. Like,
guys,
oh, I
Like,
would have
that's
loved
fair
to have
game.
seen a Hadouken right
someone
across
should
the
have
street.
said something like tiger uppercut while they were teeing off. That would have been more magical. But
he put himself in a really bad situation, though. It
who
was-
the shirtless guy?
Another symptom of
Yeah. No,
consumption
honestly,
Yeah,
like
no.
there's more than 300 people there. He's surrounded by all these people, and he's taunting everybody, inciting.
He appears to
people
be
Then
drunk. He's
you just-
invincible.
Yeah.
Have
then
we
you gotta
not
leave-
been
you gotta leave
invincible
people like that
after a
alone.
night
Like,
out?
You just can't get
That's
involved.
exactly
Like
it.
even if you
someone's
get
pushing
engaged
you
from
and,
that.
and someone's whipping you, you just leave them alone.
No,
Like,
what
I
I'm
mean-
saying is that the people that got whipped were the ones that engaged with him. If you just didn't engage
Okay,
with
so
him,
what if one of your friends is one of those guys, and you're defending your friend because he's probably gonna get clobbered by
Don't
this
whip
guy
my
by a
friend!
belt?
I think there's other means of like, other than piling on and everyone trying to get their fair shot.
No
in,
one
which
was.
isn't-
I
isn't
No, the
cool.
part that
That's not
bothered me
cool.
was like nobody was trying to stop him from whipping people. They just wanted to get a shot
No,
in.
there was.
That's what it
There
seemed
was a
like.
That's what it
guy-
seemed
there was
like,
a
yeah.
guy that was
Yeah, the
like,
cop.
No, the hoodie guy. He turned around trying to stop it, and he got whipped bad in the back.
Was he trying to stop him?
Yeah,
I know he was turned around, and then that's when fucking Indy like
Yeah, well,
whipped him with a buckle.
you know the one thing too is that
I'm surprised his pants didn't fall.
it could have been worse because I
It
noticed.
ended
for
quite
sure.
quickly. It ended quite quickly.
I replayed it when he fell down.
I
and
replayed
people-
it too, like a bunch of times.
When people swarmed, no one kicked him. No one piled on
Did we
him.
watch the same video?
Yeah, I
I
thought he
didn't
got
s-
kicked, but not in the head.
I thought he was
head?
getting
I know,
getting
but
shots
not in
while
the
he
head.
was on the
Yeah,
ground.
I
by the
thought so,
people,
too.
like by people that were got
no,
whipped.
it was just no way to tell by then from my point of view.
yeah,
It just
man.
looked like people were just trying to get a free shot in on
Yeah,
a drunk
man,
guy.
that's
He
some
wasn't
weak
bloodied
shit.
though, right? There was
No, that's what I
blood.
mean. That's
Yeah.
where it could have been a million times where
I
someone
don't
could have
think
curb stomped him.
while he was on the
Yeah.
ground, I don't think he got hit in the head. So
Yeah.
we were assholes, but like assholes with a heart of gold. I guess.
I'm just saying it could have been worse. I
could have been
I think
worse.
The crowd knew that this guy was wasted and took a little bit of
Liberty
towards.
and-
All right,
Yeah.
let's play this upon ourselves, okay? We're there, and then we're in the front of the crowd.
I'm not taking my shirt off for you, Eugene.
just the
Nor
pants.
my pants.
First of all, there'd be some careful stepping out there because nobody wants their fucking shoes fucked up in that lineup.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true
that's
too.
true.
So that's why there was no fucking high kicks that night.
Chun Li,
Nobody flipped upside down and fucking glided across.
Sonic Boom.
So it was quite dramatic. And what would you guys have done if you were in that situation? If like some random dude without a shirt started whipping you with a belt, would you run away? Would you fight back? What would you do? Now that we've judged the people that were involved, what
like
would you
if
guys
he
have done?
actually hit, like you're
Oh, yeah.
just standing
Like
there minding your own business.
You're one
just
of the
like-
random targets.
But is that what happened, or did someone engage with him and that's why he did it, or he was? Because it
Maybe
seemed
he
like at the
hit-
very
maybe
at
the
very
first
beginning
guy
he was
kinda-
just like taunting people. But
Maybe the
he
first
wasn't
guy
hitting
that he whipped
anyone.
was not deserving,
Yeah.
but like he was asking for it. But it looked like he was hitting randos out there too. So what do you think about? What do you think you guys would have done?
You know, it would probably be.
I would have taken off my belt. Just make it a fair fight. I don't give a fuck.
No, you take your belt off as an excuse to take your belt off.
And it's like, look at this.
Well, I mean, I think Kurt's mentioned, you got to be careful with that because you don't know what the guy's capable of. You also don't know,
Might throw a needle
especially
at
in
you.
a big, exactly. You don't know in a big city like this, even if it is mutual combat,
Yeah.
mutually consensual combat like that. You don't know what the fuck he's on. You don't know if he's, chemically and physically invincible at this point.
He might bleed on you, man.
Well,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
might-
Jesus
lots
you,
of
Christ.
you might
things.
you might not be able to knock him out. I mean, we've seen videos out there where a taser from 2 cops and 6 of them can't keep a meth head down. You know what I mean? So you never know.
They're very determined, those meth heads.
Well, They just don't feel anything.
I don't know. I think it's determination. This guy wants to.
Yeah, drug addicts.
Yeah, man. They're determined to get drugs.
Sneaker files
And
does
no,
not condone.
and no tasers can stop him from
But
getting
they
his
are very
drugs.
determined. though.
Yeah.
You don't think that's determination? Those are the people I'm scared about. Fucking
Something to prove.
people that are way enthusiastic about shit. Those are the fucking dangerous people out there.
I'm enthusiastic about shit.
You're dangerous, man. So who of us would fight back? We're talking about shoes here, but at this point, it's not even about shoes. anymore.
He looked
I
like he was
know.
5'7". So I
Bigger
mean,
than me.
My
He probably outweighs all
my
of us.
initial thoughts. Again,
go
we're not.
time.
You're not in a
Trying to be
you're
the
not in a
bigger person,
300,
right?
Would be to subdue, probably
Yeah.
first of all.
Yeah.
I'm not about throwing
But then you get-
haymakers for the crowd.
But then you
No.
get hit. Say you get hit.
I don't know, man. The crowd's cheering
it's
you
on,
on
right?
and shit.
That's what we talked about. Is that if you got caught with the whip,
Wouldn't
by
you be a
just
little bit
standing there.
choked and you want to fight back?
I don't know. You got to be a bigger person about it. It's like, I mean, he's already got.
You ever been in a bar fight? You ever been in a bar fight
know,
where it
it's
was
just
totally
like-
unnecessary and avoidable? At the same time, there's too many people watching for you to back out. See, Pierre's laughing because he knows what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, you're probably going to be like a little upset, just like losing out on some of the shoes that you. Didn't
Maybe
get
if
to
there was a
cop,
reigning
so you
champ
maybe-
lineup, I would
yeah,
lose my mind. I would take.
Yeah.
I would bring extra belts.
an arsenal of belts,
double
multi
handle.
belts.
I'm like, my belt has 3
Yeah.
buckles.
It's just
It's a
unfortunate.
hydra of belts.
Yeah, and let's be real here. The news outlets were saying that this individual was like on the street inebriated beforehand. Was basically
Very possible,
unrelated to
unless he gets drunk really
this
fast.
shoe release. So we really don't need people out there thinking that, okay, just in case there's a guy with a belt, I'm gonna bring a bat. We
Right.
don't need
Yeah.
to escalate
All right,
this.
I just
We're
wanna
not a weaponized city here when it comes to shoe releases. I've been in multiple lineups.
And I've never seen any drama
people
besides
buying
like
coffee for
yeah.
each other, hot
but-
chocolate. We don't need this, and we for how small
Pierre holds you close.
and you got to keep warm somehow.
Yeah.
But I mean, like we've got. This is such a blip on the radar. I mean,
It's
people,
big
people
deal,
were
'cause
talking
this is
about
the
this
first
Bape.
one.
Well, I know people were saying that this is, the sneaker game's fucked up or whatever. This Bape release for the small amount of numbers, this doesn't represent the sneaker game.
No, I'm talking about this sets a precedent, and this is a game changer when it comes to first come first serve lineups. I know, and I don't blame retailers for not trusting the consumers anymore when it comes to handling.
they should
their,
know better. They fucked up. I can't.
They
believe
did fuck up, and they should know better. But now that they do know better, what do you think is going to happen with the future releases?
Raffle.
Exactly.
Raffle.
They should. From what I've heard, this should have been a raffle to begin with, and they fucked up and went with it anyways. And the consumers kind of paid the price because we were lining. Not me, but
People were lining up,
People
yeah.
were lining up for hours, not knowing the outcome of
Then
this.
you need to.
release.
Yeah, I
Then you
didn't
need
even
to
know.
be more responsible and organize it properly. Like if you just
That's all good.
put the right measures.
We're talking
it-
about Adidas here.
Well, I still think
Adidas
you
is
could
not showing the
do-
best customer appreciation when it comes to.
I'd be interested to
Real-
see how it
limited
released in
releases.
other
Well,
cities.
I think they've been the best
what their
in
results are.
raffles and local releases, in-store releases. Online might be a different.
Online was a joke.
Yeah.
Every single hot release has been kind of a joke, to a point where even general releases were limited. Like the triple white Ultra Boost that we finally got months and months and months and months later, they had like 12 pairs or 20 pairs or something like that. Yeah. And that's a general release shoe. We got 20 pairs. Okay, so the allotment is already an issue. But the way they're releasing it locally in stores, now it's an issue as well, because like we made fucking soul collector news and sneaker news and all that.
High
And people
society,
think that
yeah.
we are so crazy about sneakers here. We're such hype beasts that we're whipping people with belts. And that's the part I want to kind of clarify is that as far as I understand, no sneakerhead's whipping other people with belts for a shoe.
No.
Do you guys think that this is all just new to them? This is all because of all the notoriety that they have. That this is all
Who,
uncharted,
Adidas?
Yeah, uncharted territory that they don't.
They should know better. They should know better. Like people going crazy over sneakers is not a new thing.
They've only had people going crazy over the shoes within the last 2 years. Fair
But they should
assessment?
know. They should know. We're
I
not
mean,
talking
they
about
could look,
just
they could
the
look
brand.
at any like Black Friday. Not that those are related, but any sort of hyped product at a Black Friday sale. You could look years previous into the United States or even in Canada. Like it's crazy stuff that goes on, and you would think that there be a little bit more responsibility, and they're like, hey,
Well, to be
we
fair,
have
like
to ensure that
when we're talking
there's a
about
proper,
Black Friday sales, like Best
Yeah.
Buy and shit has been having problems in Walmart.
yeah,
Not to name names, but like they are the ones we see on YouTube and shit about like the chaotic Black Friday sales, and they haven't changed any of their protocols and procedures when it comes to Black Friday sales. And I guess Adidas is just like, okay, well,
but it seemed like Adidas didn't have any. What I'm saying is that
are
Best
you
Buy and those
are
other
you trying to
places
convince
said-
me that Adidas didn't know that these the BAPE NMDs were going to be as
No,
hot
no,
as
that's
the
not what I'm
NLB?
saying. I'm just saying that they didn't make
Maybe-
any effort to do any sort of organization to it, whereas Best Buy and stuff may change their protocol, or at least they have a protocol,
Okay, so-
whether it's good or bad.
But who do you-
Adidas doesn't have.
But Kurt,
didn't
who do
seem
you
like
blame
anything.
on that one? First of all,
I
I'm
blame
always
both
going to blame
sides.
upper management. I'm going to
blame-
blame upper management,
Sure.
right? It always trickles down to, okay, what procedures you have to do to release a certain shoe. And if they don't know whether if they've not been in the community, if
Yeah,
they've-
yeah.
they're not going to
No, I agree. I
know,
think
right?
the responsibility is on both sides. I think it's on management. I think it's on with Adidas, and I also think it's as a human being,
Mm-hmm.
you shouldn't be a fucktard and like crash a gate and like cause problems, and like you need to conduct yourself in a little bit better manner.
So
in
what
society and not-
what I'm gathering from what Kurtz is saying is that Adidas know that it's a hot release. Adidas set out some rules, and Adidas expected the consumer to act like people.
Well, we don't know that they put in rules. They just said line.
They said no. They set
after
some
9,
rules.
right?
They
Yeah.
didn't. They didn't specifically give us procedures of how to line
Yeah.
up. They just say no lining up before 9:00.
Yeah,
That's all they
maybe
had
that,
said.
Well, maybe they need to. Maybe there needs to be more direction because
How do
we
you
as
set
a
up
society,
a 300-person lineup for 25 shoes though? You can't. There's
then
always
you
gonna-
wait. It goes back to the procedure. Like maybe you need to figure out a better procedure for it. Like if you're gonna do that, then you just have to say when 25 people line up, you're like, here's your wristband. Come back tomorrow and pick up your shoes. Like,
What if 50 people showed up at the exact same time at 9:00?
well,
Yeah,
then
no,
you need to
you're-
put some sort of
yeah, you're-
stanchion or something outside where you all have to sit.
But I mean, this is
It has to be
to what you were saying about examples being laid out before them for years ago, like 5-6 years ago, from all of the chaos that we've seen from Jordan releases from Nike and Jordan brand and Galaxy releases over the years.
But they didn't have 20 pairs.
Numbers are irrelevant.
Okay.
I'm saying that I have
process.
exactly. I have a feeling that Adidas might be thinking that they could maybe benefit if they are being ignorant to the idea
Hysteria?
of implementing processes that would avoid all of this
So they want to make the news.
bullshit, brouhaha.
They want to be like Nike.
So they want the hype, which
They just didn't think it would go that far, probably.
maybe.
But I don't think they're. I don't want to say regret, but I don't think they're really.
They love the news.
Yeah.
They made the
It's
news
free
that there's a hot
publicity.
shoe that came
Exactly.
out at this
Yeah.
very specific location.
Do you think they gained from this? Probably.
But
Both-
the
both brands did.
The interesting thing is that
Yeah.
I haven't shouted him out in a while. Matt Powell from the MPD Group, sports retailer analyst, has said that this year it's all Adidas Originals that has bumped their bottom line and made their stock rise. So
Right.
like Superstars, Stans. What else is in that
Not
one?
so much the performance shoes.
Or these collaborations. Obviously,
They don't
talked about
count
that
because,
before.
like-
they're so small.
Yeah, man. Yeezy
so
sells
small.
like
It's more
20,000
awareness that you gain
units, right?
from
as
them.
opposed to like a million pairs of Jordans that sell out. That's a little different story. Even if they don't sell out, selling half of
Well,
a
the
million
True
units.
Blues. The
Yeah,
True
man.
Blues
They're still
is a
somewhat
massive
sitting.
commercial success,
Yeah.
despite the price point, despite the lack of riots now,
Yeah.
and the fact that they've found the price point that keeps resellers away,
Right.
Stop stabbings in line for raffle tickets and shit,
No belt whippings.
and still moves the needle for them because they're moving like half.
So
a
it
million,
seems like
600,
after
700,000
years and
pairs.
years of tinkering,
Wow,
unintended.
good pun.
tinkering around with price point and
Volume.
stop it, guys. After years and years of tinkering between the volume and price point, they've hit a sweet spot, I would say, of how to maximize profit and reduce the number of drama when it comes to sneakerheads wanting a shoe.
Yeah, and I bet you that is so far down on any business's radar because hype would be amazing for any company.
Yeah.
Like small businesses would kill to have that kind of buzz going around.
Yeah.
So I bet you that's way down on their list of priorities.
Yeah.
But definitely helps because there are decent human beings out there who get turned
Thanks,
off
Kurtz, for
by,
the top threes.
who get turned off by that kind of drama. Like why even engage with that if it's going to be a bunch of animals?
Well, that's the thing that turned me off of even trying to line up for this shoe because I knew it was going to be chaos. I can't compete with 300 weirdos out
And
there.
you've got a small waist, so your belt's not that big.
I don't even think he wears a belt.
Wow.
Suspenders.
It's just the jogging pants.
Suspenders got
He would
like
have taken
3
them off
buckles.
and made like a giant old slingshot. Would have been Hunger Games Granville Street.
I don't know if I can take off my shirt, though.
I can't whistle the Hunger Games fucking thing. Fuck.
So let's just wrap up this fucking fantastic story of ours because there's something else I want to get to at the end of this.
Please keep your pants on. We don't
I told you, man, my pants stays. I don't know, man.
Stay tuned for a live demonstration by Eugene.
After the podcast, Eugene takes his clothes off once again.
I'm just gonna line you guys up and
No,
wait.
he's actually just putting them back on. He's been naked the whole time.
It's about time, guys. I think that the news got it wrong. They tried to sensationalize this sneaker release, saying that Vancouverites are fucking are crazy when it comes to these sneakers, and that we can't control ourselves. That we have to go to a point of whipping people with the belt. They kind of got it wrong, but at the same time, they're not far off because we did go a little bit nutty about this shoe.
So on the topic, like, do we have any suggestions on how we think we can create a better first come first service protocol? Like, is there anything that we can
Make-
Or is that
suggest?
Provide more
what, do you
shoes,
think it's
Nike
dead?
style.
Do you think that whole
It looks like every time I try to go to these first come first serve lineups, they keep getting, every time I go to one, another one shuts down, and the next one shuts down, and the next one shuts down. Where I don't think Adidas feels safe for their customers to line up anymore when it comes to hype releases like this. They never introduced a first come first serve for Yeezys at Adidas. It's been raffle since day one for them, and it made sense. But they should have known that, knowing that these BAPE NMDs were even more rare than Yeezys, they should have known the hysteria that was going to be surrounding this release.
Yeah.
I think they did know. They just kind of fucked up the
Yeah.
procedures of this release, and that's what ended up happening. It's just like, all right, we fucked it up. It's too late to change it. Let's just roll with it, and hopefully our customers
Roll the dice.
they totally rolled
that's
the
a bad
dice.
decision, man? Because like
That's the thing, man. Like, I don't know what they needed to do to make sure that they can
dude, because the Yeezys released what, Tuesday or Wednesday,
Wednesday,
and then those were supposed to release Friday or Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah.
You're telling me that's Thursday, Friday, 2 days that they couldn't make a decision.
I don't know how this stuff works, man. Like,
Yep.
but
Just the
from
risk
what I know,
assessment, man.
Montreal, Toronto, they had fairly drama-free lineups.
They had some drama. I heard they had some hysteria, not drama like this, but like
No whipping there.
no whipping.
And I guess
Too
over-
cold over-
I was
too
gonna say it's
cold
too
back
cold
east.
to take off your shirt, and their belts are fucking frozen on, right? So they can't even take that shit off. Maybe there would have been some whipping, but unless you brought extra belts or something. At least this is fairly new territory in Canada when it comes to violence in a sneaker lineup.
I mean, I'm still of the mind where this dude was unrelated to the shoe.
No.
line,
I want to
mean-
believe that, yes.
but 300 people.
Location
can't-
also doesn't help.
Oh, hell no.
Right? Granville Street is already known for
At least there's no traffic
being-
at that time, right?
Yeah. No traffic.
You
but
can't.
there's lots of foot traffic.
You can't
like,
first
that's
come
what-
first. You can't first
Yeah.
come first serve a collaboration, in my opinion.
Yeah,
No
I guess
collabs.
not. But
Can't do it.
I don't know, man. The reigning champs went out fairly incident-free.
Yeah, because that was a template to not do anything. There, people are probably like scared. That
What do you think? What happened if the order of these releases were reversed? Reigning champ came out first. Would there be whipping there?
No, I
No.
think because of where it's located, it's
Yeah.
much
So
more
downtown is like a fucking
But-
hotspot for
yeah,
whipping.
Well-
weren't stores pretty
Put it on your Google.
weren't stores
pin drop.
pretty open about how not just limited, but how few pairs they had?
They gave ideas to like how they will never say the exact numbers just in case you
Yeah.
know fucking
The-
a relative wants
it's
a
safe
pair.
to say there's a lot more communication than the other one. Than
Adidas has always been notoriously confidential with the amount that they get, but at the same time, when it comes to a drop like this, like word gets out there how many pairs they have. It was no secret by the time that people started lining up how rare they are, to almost the exact pair count of how many pairs were available. So I don't see what the big deal with telling. I don't know, man. I don't know why sneaker companies need to not tell the customers how many pairs are available at each location. They still exercise that fucking bullshit.
It's
Is
the
it-
supply and demand thing, and people started putting the light on Jordan when it cracked 500,000 pairs. Like, I'll think of it later. Which pair was one of the first ones to be publicly known as like 500,000 came out.
Legend Blues, I think.
No, that was over that was a mil.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and 7211s were around 1 million as well, maybe even a hair.
I hear Space Jam's 1.2.
Yeah, but it's they don't want to play around with that because they want to ride the limited hype.
No, they can't do that. It's for the safety of the customers.
They don't. Like I said, I bet you that's so low on their priority.
That is irresponsible, don't you guys think?
Yeah, except that's where it's not taking place in their store, so they're not faced with the liability. And
So
I'm
it's the
sure if
city's problem.
I'm sure if we dug deep enough, we could find out that Black Friday bullshit in the States or shoe pandemonium, that somewhere there's a lawsuit that has been directed towards the company for inciting violence or inciting a riot or whatever it is. I'm sure someone's directed legal action towards the parties responsible.
Right.
That there would be a precedent involved there. But like,
So
I
do you
said,
think a
so
location
far
of a
low,
store
so
is
low on the
is
priority.
very related to whether or not they can release first come first serve? It's like inside a mall, we already established that they can't do that anymore for liability reasons because
Yeah.
they are within mall property, private
Yeah.
property, right? Outside of the Adidas store downtown, the city property. Do you think that's why they were able to legally do this without too much liability issues?
If I had to venture a guess, I bet they didn't think anywhere near as many people were going to show up. That'd be my
Okay,
guess.
how about before the lineup started? Did you guys have a feeling that it was going to be hundreds of people?
No.
No,
I
I
You didn't think so?
I didn't think so.
I would have thought that people would roll up and see 30, 40, 50 people. Let's
And you'd
let's
be
just
like,
go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't think
Yeah.
300 people would stay and see let's see what happens.
Well, I think that's the mentality that you're on a street that is known for a little bit of chaos when the bars let out because it's a bar district. So,
9:00.
but even
But
people
even
get off work
assembling,
and they're
people
drinking
are
after work,
pre-gaming,
right?
exactly, yeah.
I'm so out of touch.
Pre-gaming
there's-
means drinking alcohol before going to a bar to save money.
Why
yeah.
would they do that? Don't they want the top shelf, not watered down, cheap alcohol at the bar? That's how it works. Right? So let's just wrap this up. Belt guy, that's a thumbs down for me. 300 people acting a fool, that's a thumbs down for me.
Yeah.
Adidas not foreseeing that this was going to be mass hysteria, thumbs down for me.
Shame on them.
Customers just
Be better people, man.
Simmer
so
down.
there's a lot of mistakes made for this release.
Simmer down now.
Adidas needs to make more units available for Canadians. The States get enough. Europe even get, well, they are a European company. But, just make it a little bit more accessible for Canadians. Like, I'm not going to fucking beg just because.
Bring more to Canada.
I've been at that point where if I miss an Adidas drop, I just move on from now on.
Because there'll be
Like-
another one like the next day.
Yeah, I know, right? And like this is
Especially
BAPE
this time of
NMD.
year.
BAPE NMD is gonna come back. Like maybe not in this exact print. If you ask me, I would rather have something a little bit more subtle. I just want it just because of the branding. But if the next one's a little bit cleaner, like the fucking skates and superstars I have had from before, I much rather have those kind of silhouettes where it's just simple single branding with a fucking monkey head on it. That's much more clean. And
Wait,
You're not supposed to say that.
so it's not an ape?
it is an ape, but I like to say monkey because it sounds better for on the mic.
Interesting.
Monkey.
See what I mean?
Ape.
So the monkey head is what I really like, and the camel print. Like, if you know me at all, like I'm not a huge fan of camel print anything. Like when it comes to fucking dressing up, I actually, I just dislike that aesthetic of blending in with your background.
Why? Because it's not clean.
It's not clean at all. So when it comes to stuff like this, I will look forward to the next one. Hopefully they fucking learn their lesson, and hopefully there'll be less belt whipping, more pistol whipping. No, just kidding.
Whoa. Sneaker Files does not condone the use of weapons not legally obtained.
No whipping of any. Maybe whipping cream. Oh, that'd be hot.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
So the only whipping encouraged by the Sneaker Files podcast would be whipping
whipping cream.
cream, canned. Or fucking hand whip, doesn't matter to me. It's all good. And hopefully everyone has learned a lesson. Maybe fucking 300 people trying to buy 20 pairs of shoes, not the best idea. Maybe whipping people with the fucking buckle end of a belt, not the best idea. And maybe
Certainly not the best.
you never
of-
know. Some people
best
might
of
like
ideas.
it. Shit. Maybe they went 50 Shades.
Should I just
you
go
never know.
According to your
home
discipline
because
in
I'm
your kid.
drunk, or should I whip people before I go and take off my shirt?
That's the only whipping I fucking encourage is the whip and the nay-nay. So
Anything you guys want to add to fucking Indiana Jones over here?
Put your shirt on, put your belt on, go
The
home.
shirt, I don't mind. Fucking whatever. Your body, you
No,
show it off.
you per-
But the belt, leave the belt on.
Yo, but the characters that we've had this year, eh, from the sneaker game, just
There's Ronald.
Ronald.
There's fucking
some
Indiana
good stuff.
Jones.
Lucky Pierre.
Lucky Pierre
Whoa.
is. Oh man, Lucky Pierre. I wish I was Lucky Pierre right about now.
I
That's
feel
definitely
like
gonna
Lucky
go in the
Pierre.
best and worst out of the year. Right?
LP.
We will get to that in
Yeah,
the future
right.
episode.
It's been a good year. It's been really interesting.
I've been very intrigued
Yeah.
with how this year has run for me. Like, this is probably one of the most dramatic years I've had in sneakers, if you ask me.
This
is good.
this is hype beast season for sure. This has
This is like
I've
our
never seen
Oscar
anything like
season,
this.
right?
Well, I mean, you expect something sweet from Jordan for Black Friday, but just everything's been coming out. Adidas.
I can't even rank them
Kudos
because
to
I want
Adidas.
everything.
Yeah, I know. Kudos to Adidas for stepping up and putting out.
Adidas
product
has
that
been like
people want.
releasing fire, but the only problem is like this fire's fucking
There-
limited.
It's lighter fire because it's so limited.
It's not a bonfire like these True Blues.
Yeah, exactly.
But do you guys notice that they're directly like gunning for each other now? Eh? They're releasing.
It seems like the competition is a little bit more visible.
No, they'll
okay.
they'll release black NMDs. I mean, they'll release black Ultra Boost, and then Nike will go black.
Dude, it
Racers.
started last year when
Yeah.
those 7210s were announced a release date,
Yeah.
and then Yeezy took over and be like, no, we're taking that date.
I think the comparison applies now to what Adidas is trying to do by stepping up with Jordan. Is Adidas may be a shirtless guy swinging a belt in a mob of 300 because
Because for every one fake NFT they sell, they sell
Exactly.
300 True Blues.
Exactly.
So the number game is kind of
Exactly.
irrelevant. Adidas is playing a different game. Instead of trying to make all the money from the product itself, they're trying to raise a brand awareness by limiting the releases, right? So instead of us buying like a million Ultra Boosts, they sell 100,000 Ultra Boosts, and hopefully people talk about Adidas where they'll buy the shittier shoes, right?
Yeah.
Is that fair to
Could.
say?
It could.
It's working. It's
but
working,
I mean,
Mike.
I know what you're getting at.
Yeah.
I don't equate the Adidas Originals, like a Superstar or a Stan, as the shittier shoes, but that's what you mean, right?
Yeah.
Their staple program. Like
Yeah, man,
their
shit that's been
staples.
around since
I
day
get
one
it,
and
yeah.
shit. And I don't mind that strategy at all, but it does make me miss out on a lot of releases. But who am I to complain? Like, look how many pair of like awesome shoes came out just in November.
Yeah.
And if I don't know, man, like I'm not too upset that I missed out on a lot of these releases just because it saves my fucking wallet a lot of.
Yeah.
You know,
Would you feel saltier if the releases only happen like one every couple of months and you're getting the same results? It would sting
Of
a little
course.
bit more.
Yep,
I think.
I
Yeah.
would.
So we're
But-
pretty lucky that there's that much coming.
Yes,
out all
but
at
at
once.
the same time, with these limited releases, I'm copying the same amount if they were to release like one every few months, anyways.
Yeah.
I usually cop one hot release every few months, anyways, with Adidas.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if they roll out 10 a month, I'm still copying the one every few months.
Yeah.
So my
It
acquisition
still
power
averages
stays the
out.
same.
Yeah.
So
But you're just a little bit happier.
if I can hit
little
on
less so.
100%
Yeah.
of very seldom releases as opposed to striking out more than half the time on very reoccurring releases, yeah, okay.
But you get over it because there's another one right there.
Yeah,
You get over
so
that one. There's
like we
another one
said
right
last
there.
week, like
So,
the amount of grievance period has been fucking
Is
dramatically
diminished.
reduced
Yeah.
the last few years when it comes to releases. Now we have like more than one brand to look forward to. All the Jordans that I've been wanting, like people are sleeping on them, so I don't mind that. And they can ride the Adidas hype all they want, but like these Adidas shoes don't mean as much to me as some of the Jordans that I grew up with. So I'm happy with the fact that I can cop Jordans at whim now. Like it's like not a problem for me to get a pair of True Blue 3s, a pair of fucking black metallic 5s, and the bread ones were a little troublesome for me, but eventually it worked out for me. Whereas, and I can never ever try and get quote unquote lucky with a pair of like reigning champs or BAPE NMDs, right? People are asking for $1,000 for these Bapes, so
You have Chicago ones, right?
I don't. Joe has them. I don't have those Chicago
Yeah,
ones.
I got
East
'em
Bay.
too.
East
Yeah.
Bay. You have them too.
Yeah,
I,
I got 'em
I need a
last
pair
year.
of those. Like I had my eyes on a pair from the consignment shop at Stay Fresh, and I was just waiting, and eventually like they sold. I'm like, fuck.
Really?
Yeah, they wanted they wanted consignment prices for them, and
Which is like 600.
it's more than what any of you would pay for a pair of Chicago ones. If I looked hard enough, I can find a used pair maybe in fairly good condition, because like as this Adidas wave is trying to fucking rise and rise, people are trying to get rid of their Jordans to buy
they
Yeezys,
are.
right?
That's what's actually really good.
And that's where I fucking
Yeah.
vulture in and take their shit.
Yeah.
Like, we laughed at the Baron ones because someone paid someone to line up, but like at that point, people had to gamble and say, "Oh, it's a Jordan 1, like it's gonna resell a lot." But now no one does that shit anymore. I don't mind that at all. So, what do you guys?
I think this whole event is actually separating, old school OG Jordan people
Yeah,
from like the young kids
hype
who like
beasts.
the Ultra Boost. Dude.
Yeah.
But one thing that I do like what Adidas is doing is that everyone, and it's happened with me too, like because of all the Yeezys and all the Ultra Boosts that I've researched and bought, I've actually looked into the older models or other models from Adidas, like the EQTs, the Gazelles,
Yeah. Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, but that's me. I don't know if other people will do the same research or same love for other Adidas shoes that they've had in their arsenal.
I don't know. It depends. If you
know,
grew up with
you know,
them, then
yeah.
it's a different.
I've never heard of Gazelles, but I love the fact
Oh, they've been
that
around forever.
Dude, they released a whole bunch of colors this
Yeah.
year,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, if they release like a Bape Gazelle, people would go crazy.
Well, that's how it was with the
Did you say
livestock.
belt or babe?
Well, that livestock Samba.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Nobody
Yeah.
even knew what a Samba was
No.
until that livestock release, and those
Yeah,
are
it was-
clean as fuck.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So that's all I want to say about this fucking Bape NMD shit. I didn't get a pair. It's $1,000. I don't think I'll ever try and go for a pair unless someone sells it to me for retail, which is never. So in a couple of weeks, guys, something exciting is happening. Let's then spend like the next 5 minutes talking about this. It's the Soul Exchange Canada's Ultimate Sneaker Show Holiday 2016 kickoff. So as I said the last few weeks, that we are going to be in attendance of this sneaker convention. December 17th at the Vancouver Convention Center. If you want tickets, go to theultimatesneakershow.com. Just select your tickets, and before you check out, make sure you enter promo code PODCAST. Podcast will get you $5 off each ticket, which is around 25% off, which is a pretty sweet deal. So
Good
if
deal.
if you were to show up, make sure you fucking save that $5 and come say hi to us. Find our table. We won't be hard to find. We'll be like the 4 guys with $50 shoes on.
Yeah. you guys gotta step up.
I don't know
now.
what. Maybe I'll wear one shoe and that counts as like half of
No.
100. No,
Nah.
okay.
Nice try though.
I tried.
You gotta explain to the
Pierre's
people-
just gonna
to
have
the
his
listeners.
Yeezy laces wrapped around his bare feet.
I'll wear like the
$50.
I'll wear the reigning champ box on my feet. So what Joe has suggested is that we're gonna do a fucking challenge amongst ourselves and to any of the listeners that want to participate, but I doubt you guys want to show up with $50 shoes at a sneaker convention. But the challenge is out there for the taking, and which is we are gonna try and secure tax, duty, shipping, everything in. We're gonna try and get a pair of shoes for $50 US. That's around $70 to $75 Canadian.
Oh, we're
depending-
increasing it now. Okay.
You said US, bitch.
I did?
Yeah, man.
Okay, if I said it,
I'll
I
play the
said it.
replay
I don't-
later.
I don't remember.
It's
but yeah,
$50
that's fine.
US that you said
That's
because
fine.
we are going to be
I
shopping.
remember all in. I just don't remember US.
Okay,
That's fine.
$50 US all in. To our feet, it'll be $50 US, and whoever wears the most popular pair will, I don't know, we'll get bragging rights for
that'd be
a little
nice.
while.
Oh, I'm going thrift shopping tomorrow. I'm gonna pop some tags tomorrow at their Value Village or like a consignment shop. So I'll
Chewbacca
look for
furs? You
I'll
gonna
look,
try to
I'll
get
look for a
Chewbacca
little
furs?
I'll look for a little trophy or something too. It's just something.
Wow.
If we manage to go, well,
Can
I
we
mean, it'd
get-
be easier if we had 5 people or 3 people. Or
We should
whatever.
get,
But
can you
if
get,
we can decide.
I know what our prize is. It could be a belt buckle. How about that?
Ooh, yeah.
A belt buckle for the winner.
Soon.
What do you mean too soon?
Just kidding.
There were no losers in that story. All winners.
Maybe it needs to be like a wrestling belt or like
Oh,
an MMA
there you
belt.
go. I
That'd
bet
be
you can
more
buy
than
one at
50
Toys R
bucks.
Us.
That'd be more than $50.
No, you can buy a toy one at Toys R Us.
Bet you it's more than $50.
These fucking wrestling belts. So
Well, Conor McGregor's got 2, so maybe he'll just lend us
I think
one.
he gave back one of them, right? But that besides the point.
Anyway.
So that once again is the Soul Exchange Canada Ultimate Sneaker Show 2016 Holiday 26 kickoff. Go to theultimatesneakershow.com, get your tickets there, enter promo code podcast, and we will see you there. Hopefully we can have a lot of listeners. If you're listening now and you live in the Vancouver region, come out Vancouver Convention Center December 17th and come say hi to us. And I want to get some of our listeners on the mic.
What if someone comes out of town? Can they stay at your house?
No, they can stay at yours.
Well played, my friend.
You don't want. I don't know, man. You are. People want your luck to rub off on them, right? And how do they do that? How do they rub off some luck?
Come by and say hello and
They
rub
take
my
off their
head.
belt and a shirt.
Let me whip you.
Osmosis.
Rub away.
Let me whip you.
So, yeah, man, come out and say hi to Joe, hi to Pierre. No, don't touch me. Don't talk to me.
Unless you have. Have
No, Kurtz will
pants,
be there.
right?
I'm a friendly guy. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I'll say
come say
I'll be
hi.
nice. If you plan on copying anything, make sure you come to our table. We're gonna play a little game. We have some things in the plan, but we are gonna make this as interactive as possible and get some of our regular listeners on the mic so they can hear themselves later on. You know what I mean?
That'll be good.
It's a big
That'll be
deal.
good. That'll be
And yeah, man, it's gonna be fun. I want to spend some money. I hope you guys bring lots of money. And other than that, it's gonna be a few surprises hopefully that we can come up with, and get to know our fans, get to know our listeners. So if you want to come shake your hand with Lucky Pierre, take some mojo away from him because he's winning too much. Yeah, come by December 17th, Vancouver Convention Center at the Ultimate Sneaker Show. All right,
Yeah.
we happy?
See you out there, guys. See you out there.
You think?
Yeah.
We're all gonna make it, right?
Yeah,
all
man.
going.
I'm
Yeah.
not missing
It's
this
in the
for
plan.
the world.
All right. So yeah, we'll see you there. So for the Sneaker Files podcast, this is your host Eugene.
Jason.
Nene. I mean Pierre.
And Joe.
Happy hunting, guys.